Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. There's no place in the world quite like Bangladesh. Tucked between eastern India and the Bay of Bengal, this small but vibrant nation of more than 170 million people pulses with life, culture, and tradition. Every day here feels like a celebration of community. But during festival time, that spirit reaches a whole new level. The daily commute in Bangladesh is always a challenge, but when the holy festival of Eid arrives, the entire nation seems to move at once. As the holiday approaches, millions of Bangladeshis begin their journey home. Buses, ferries, and cars all filled beyond capacity. But no mode of travel captures the spirit of Eid migration quite like the train.
আপনারা তো জানেন যে ঈদে সব সময় আর কি যাত্রীরা মানে ট্রেনকে বেশি পছন্দ করে, যার কারণে যাত্রী চাপ অনেকাংশে বেশি হয়। আমরা এই জন্য রেল কর্তৃপক্ষ থেকে স্পেশাল গাইড আপনার সার্ভিস দিয়েছে এবং সে অনুযায়ী আমাদের ঈদ যাত্রা স্বাচ্ছন্দ্যে আর কি যাত্রীরা করতে পারছে।
Tickets, sold both online and at the station, vanish within hours. Those lucky enough to secure a seat count themselves fortunate. For many others, the journey requires determination, patience, and sometimes a little risk. At stations like Ishwardi Junction and Rajshahi, the platforms overflow with people carrying gifts, food, and children. When the train finally arrives, the platform erupts into a frenzy. Doors swing open and passengers surge forward in a desperate bid to find space. In minutes, every seat is filled. Then the aisles, then the rooftops. Many climb through windows, squeeze between cars, or cling to handrails, determined not to miss the holiday at home. It's a scene repeated across the nation. Thousands of people perched atop rolling trains, their clothing fluttering in the wind as the engines roar through the countryside. For some, it's pure necessity. For others, it's tradition, an almost rite of passage, signaling the start of Eid. Despite the chaos, there is remarkable order. Strangers lend a hand to one another, pulling others to safety, sharing food, and even laughter. It's a collective act of endurance and goodwill, a reflection of Bangladesh's deep sense of community. Railway officials do what they can to maintain control, but with millions traveling at once, enforcement becomes nearly impossible. Traveling without a ticket is technically illegal, but many know they won't be checked, especially when they're sitting atop the train. Every year, an estimated 10 to 20 million Bangladeshis travel across more than 4,600 kilometers of railway track during Eid. Some trips stretch 20 hours or more, from the capital to distant villages. It's a journey filled with discomfort and danger, Hundreds of accidents occur each year from falls or collisions, but for most, the joy of reuniting with loved ones outweighs the risks. Even as modern locomotives replace aging diesel engines from the 1970s, the struggle for space remains unchanged. For a few precious days each year, the country's railways become rivers of humanity flowing toward the heart of family and faith. It's a quiet, foggy morning in Dhaka, the capital and largest city of Bangladesh. But as the sun has risen, so have the vibrant and bustling city's commuters. Among the early morning commuters of this crowded metropolis, Sujan, a city bus driver, has also begun his journey. He starts his day by sipping a cup of tea before heading to his bus, parked and locked along the curbside. While Sujan conducts pre-journey checks and maintenance, his bus attendant accompanies him and cleans the bus interiors before they set off on their journey. This might seem like a normal routine, but Sujan explains why it is imperative to his job.
যাত্রী গাড়ি যদি নষ্ট হয় যাত্রীরা অবশ্যই ব্যবহার খারাপ করে এই নষ্ট গাড়ি নিয়ে আসছোস নষ্ট গাড়ি নিয়ে রাস্তায় নামছোস কেন এইগুলা গালাগালি করে পরে তাদের ভাড়া তারা ফেরত নিয়ে যায় যেটা পাবে ভাড়া ফেরত নেয় নিক তারপরে যে গালাগালি করে এই বিষয়টা হলে সবচেয়ে খারাপ লাগে গাড়ি নষ্ট হইতেই পারে কারণ ইঞ্জিন জাতীয় জিনিস মানুষও ওই ভালো মানুষ আটতে আছে হুট করে হাটিস্টি করে পড়ে যাইতেছে এরকম করে বুঝায় যাত্রী বুঝিয়া পরে ভাড়া ফেরত দিয়া পাঠায় দিই
Sujan has been a city bus driver in Dhaka for about 8 to 9 years and has throughout been disciplined to his hectic work schedule.
কাল থেকে রাত পর্যন্ত মিরপুর 12 নম্বরের গাড়ি 12 নম্বর থেকে আজিমপুর পর্যন্ত গাড়ি যায় আজিমপুর থেকে আবার 12 নম্বর রিটার্ন এই সকাল 6টা বাজে বাইর হই সকাল 6টা বাজে বাইর হইয়া আবার রাত 12টা বাজে 1টা বাজে গাড়ি সাইড হয় কাজ কাম কইরা তেল পানি গ্যাস লইয়া রাত 1টা বাজে গাড়ি সাইড হয়
But as easy as Sujan makes it sound, the life of a city bus driver in Dhaka is filled with many challenges. The biggest one is traffic, and the insanity of this traffic directly affects the lives of bus drivers like Sujan. Due to traffic jams caused by Dhaka's road infrastructure, the city has struggled to keep pace with its rapid motorist growth. Unlike in many developed countries, where road networks are highly sophisticated and well-planned, Dhaka primarily has 2-lane roads, which make it challenging for motorists to navigate the city efficiently. To add to the challenge, bus drivers also endure significant backlash from the city's traffic cops, as Sujan states.
এটা নিয়ে অবশ্যই বলতে চাই আমাদের যে রুটটা ছোট কিন্তু আমাদের রুটে মনে করেন প্রত্যেকটা পয়েন্টে সার্জেন্ট পুলিশ আছে প্রত্যেকটা পয়েন্টে সার্জেন্ট পুলিশের দ্বারা আমরা হয়রানি করতে আছে যেরকম আজকে সকালবেলা একটা মামলা দিয়ে দিচ্ছে ধীরা তারপরে এই মানে 19 থেকে 20ও করা যায় না এর আগেই ধইরা মামলা দিচ্ছে মামলা না দিলে কাগজ রেখে দিতে আছে লাইনম্যান পারালে টাকা খাচ্ছে এইগুলাই
In addition to buses, Dhaka's streets are also crowded with cars, motorcycles, goods carrying carts, and cycle rickshaws. all of which contribute to the heavy traffic during peak hours. This results in significant delays for commuters relying on the city bus service as they try to travel from point A to point B. More traffic results in longer hours for a single trip, which results in lower collection for bus drivers. To avoid wasting more time besides the time wasted in traffic, Sujin minimizes his stops, only making one stop for refueling and once for a lunch break.
আমি পুরো ট্রিপে খাওয়া দাওয়ার জন্য আমি 2 ট্রিপ কমপ্লিট করি। 2 ট্রিপ কমপ্লিট করতে করতে আমার সকাল 6টা হতে পারে, আমার 2টা-3টা বাজে। এই 2টা-3টা বাজে ফাঁকে এই 10 মিনিটের জন্য গাড়ি চাপায় খাওয়া দাওয়াটা সারে।
Throughout the journey, Sujin receives strong support from the bus attendant, who announces the upcoming stops along the route to help potential passengers catch the bus if they're heading in that direction. The attendant also manages the ticketing and, occasionally, may switch places with the bus driver, particularly when the driver has been behind the wheel for several hours. Driving a bus in Dhaka involves navigating sharp turns, managing heavy traffic, avoiding pedestrians on the streets, and handling numerous other challenges. It demands exceptional driving skills, which Sujin has developed over his years of experience. However, in addition to the necessary skills, this job also requires a great deal of patience, particularly in a city like Dhaka. At times, bus drivers, frustrated by the heavy traffic, may resort to aggressive overtaking and cursing at other drivers. However, Sujin explains that these actions simply occur in the heat of the moment.
গাড়ি ডিপার্টমেন্টে যখন আসি, আমরা যখন 5টা ড্রাইভার একসাথে আসি, সবাই ভাই ব্রাদার, আবার ভাই ব্রাদারদের সাথেই ঝগড়া লাগে। ঝগড়া তো অবশ্যই কম বেশি লাগে, না লাগলে তো হবে না, কারণ সবাই মুখ যখন সকালবেলা দেখা হয়, ঝগড়া অবশ্যই হয়, কম বেশি হয়।
Due to the rush and frustration on the roads, buses in Dhaka are frequently involved in accidents, resulting in damage that requires repairs. Cracked windows and scratched bodies are just a few of the common outcomes of these incidents. As a result, these buses also spend a lot of time in bus depots, such as this one, built long before the independence of Bangladesh in 1971. According to experts, if more vehicles continue to use the roads of Dhaka and there is not enough investment in public transportation, the average speed of motorists could slow to just 2.9 miles per hour by 2035. That's about the same speed as walking. But until then, bus drivers like Sujin will continue to navigate the overcrowded roads of Dhaka, adapting and thriving amidst the motoring chaos. In the heart of Bangladesh, where mighty rivers weave through vast plains and green fields, passenger ferries serve as lifelines for millions. These large vessels are a vital part of the country's transportation network, connecting cities, towns, and remote villages scattered along the riverbanks. Among them, the bustling ferry routes between Dhaka and Barisal, or Khulna, carry thousands of passengers each day, braving tides, weather, and narrow channels. Our journey begins at the busy Sardigat lunch terminal in Dhaka, one of the most crowded river ports in the world. As dawn breaks, hundreds of people begin arriving, carrying bags, baskets, and even livestock. Some come in auto rickshaws or rickety vans. Others use small wooden boats to cross canals and reach the terminal. These hand-rowed vessels, bobbing gently against the current, bring passengers right up to the gangway of the ferry. It's a choreographed chaos that plays out daily. The boarding process is a hectic yet familiar routine. People hurry aboard, families clutching children, vendors calling out for last-minute sales, and staff shouting instructions. For many, it's a long journey ahead, sometimes up to 12 hours or more. Once the ship is full, or often well beyond capacity, the vessel prepares to depart. The crew unties thick ropes from the dock bollards. A low rumble emerges as the engines start. A long horn sounds, echoing across the water. Slowly, the ferry pulls away, gliding into the wide Buriganda River. Inside, the ferry is a world of its own. The lower deck is crowded with wooden benches and sleeping mats. People sit shoulder to shoulder, sharing space with bundles of cargo and personal belongings. Vendors walk the aisles, selling tea, boiled eggs, water, and snacks. Children peek out of windows while elders doze against the walls. It's cramped, but alive with movement and conversation. The upper decks offer better accommodations, slightly more privacy, and basic fan. A small cafeteria sells hot meals, rice, lentils, and fish curry served on metal trays. Some ferries have prayer areas, mobile charging stations, and even televisions that play local dramas or news. On the bridge, the captain and his crew steer the ship with practiced precision. Surrounded by analog gauges and navigational charts, they monitor the vessel's course and speed. Communication with other ferries and port authorities is maintained via radio. The captain keeps a sharp eye out for obstacles, sandbanks, fishing boats, or drifting debris, using both visual lookout and sonar depth meters. Captain Salam has worked on ships his entire life and now has the honor of driving one of the larger multi-deck vessels.
আমি 9-10 বছর আবার আমি নিম্ন কর্মচারী ওই আমাদের খালাসিরা ওরা আছে না ওইরকম আমি ওই কাজ করতাম লঞ্চে ঝাড়ু দিতাম ধুইতাম পরিষ্কার করতাম সিঁড়ি দিতাম লঞ্চ বাঁধতাম তারপর আস্তে আস্তে সবাই প্রিয়জন হয়ে গেল কাজকর্ম শিখে গেলাম ওস্তাদেরা করলো যে ওরে এখন লঞ্চ চালাইতে দেওয়া যায় এই 9-10 বছর আমাকে লঞ্চ চালানোর দায়িত্ব দিল তখন তো দোতলা লঞ্চ ছিল না খুব কম ছিল কাঠবডি জাহাজ ছিল তখন স্টিল বডি জাহাজ ছিল না তখন আমি এই চাকরি করি আর ওই জাহাজ চালাই দেশ বিদেশে আল্লাহর রহমতে অনেক কোম্পানিতে আমি চাকরি করি
As night falls, the ferry lights up. Passengers spread blankets and prepare to sleep wherever they find space. Outside, the river glows with the reflection of stars and distant lights from village homes. Hours later, as the ferry nears its destination, say Barisal, the crew begins docking procedures. Passengers stir, gather their things, and rush to disembark, often jumping off even before the gangway is lowered. One of the major challenges for these ferries is overcrowding. Despite government regulations, it's common to see vessels filled far beyond their intended capacity. Still, these ferries remain a vital artery of Bangladeshi life. For many, they are more than transport. They're floating communities, marketplaces, and temporary homes. They carry not just passengers, but the stories, struggles, and hopes of a riverine nation in motion. From the crowded streets of Dhaka to the packed train stations and bustling river ports, Bangladesh moves with a rhythm all its own. Its people navigate an intricate web of roads, rails, and rivers with resilience and determination. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.